Okay, for today's cup of coffee, I'm going to be talking about my first vision. But first, Joe, I did receive your email, did send your response on your email, and asking how you wanted that done. And honey, I don't do English well, let alone do the German well. And it's like, I've got some German heritage, but not that much. So I'm sure you'll get back in touch with me, and then we'll work on that as far as getting a video of your experiences. And I appreciate you sharing those with me. Again, folks, anybody that you know that may have some kind of supernatural, paranormal, spoopy story that they would like to send me, send that to cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that email address is in the description. And I think that this can be a very healing thing. It's actually very healing for me as far as being able to talk about some of these things. Over the years, I've had smatterings of one or two that I told as they crossed my path, those that were willing to listen. A lot are not, and that's okay too. But the few that are willing to listen, I appreciate you greatly. And like I said, it's a very healing thing. And if you want to send me your story or whatever, I will be definitely respectful of you and your privacy and your encounter, because I deal with a lot of things through a sense of humor, and a very dark sense of humor. Is it any wonder that I have a dark sense of humor, folks? I mean, really. Um, but it's a matter of dealing with fear in a controlled way when you are in the middle of one of these supernatural experiences. It's not like you have control, or you don't feel like you have control. So, yeah. So, for today's encounter, and that was the first vision that I was aware of having. The other encounters were like I had told you, as far as whatever it was in my mother's house, and then there'd be things that I would see various and sundry places. Um, this one was when I was in high school, and I was probably sophomore or junior, somewhere through there. And there was a boy that I went to school with, and evermore, in a lot of ways, very much like my Michael. And so I lay down to go to sleep one night, and for whatever reason, it's like I saw him. I saw him at a local skating rink. Now, this boy had some anger issues, and he had been sent to this area to live because of his anger issues, and whatever the environment that he had come from apparently was not conducive, not working for him. He was sort of an outcast there at school. The teachers and stuff like that would sort of pick at him because he was different, and it was almost like they were trying to get him to act out. There was not a lot of support or encouragement from the teachers that I ever saw, and that's on them, because they could have done a lot better by this boy than they did. Anyhow, I saw him in the vision at the skating rink. I saw him angry. I saw him get in a fight. I saw him get in to his car, and that was where the vision ended. And I thought, okay, whatever, this is just weird. I went to school the next day, and what I didn't see, everything that I had seen had been happening real time. I saw it as it was happening. What I did not see was when he wrapped his car around the tree. And so they had told me that he was in a coma. He was vegetative at that point, and his family that they were in the process of going ahead and pulling the plug. And somehow I carried that guilt around because I felt like, because I saw it, I was supposed to do something about it. And that was one of the things that behind the alcoholism, yeah, because when you feel like somehow you've been responsible, that you couldn't save someone even though you weren't there. My mind is very complex, folks. And I had somebody, when I was working at Shoney's in Johnson City, And everything that I thought I had hidden from everybody, oh no, this man sat down, he ordered him a cup of coffee and a piece of strawberry pie. And he sat there and he told me more about myself, things that I thought I had hidden from everyone. And he was my first AA sponsor. And when I had told him what had happened with the vision and stuff, and he got down on my face, and this man was, he was over half Native American, and he just piercing eyes, and he looked at me and he said, "Are you God?" And I was like shocked, and I'm like, no, I'm not God. And he said, "Then how could you have done anything differently?" And it was in that moment that I realized that even though I saw it, I was not in a position to do anything about it. After that, anytime that I have had a vision, the visions are not as frequent as some of the other things. The things that I have the most are the knowings. I call them knowings because this is mountain speak, folks. And those are, if you want to call them premonitions, a lot of times they are before something happens. And it's sort of like God giving me a heads up, like, hey, prepare yourself. And we'll get into some of those in the future. Like I said, little by little, drop by drop is how we're doing this. So I have learned that anytime I have a vision or whatever like that, to pray immediately for whomever, to pray. And then there are some things that appear to be visions that are actually demonic attacks. And now the devil will try to break your brain. And we're seeing that daily in our world today. And that's why, it's like I have been like a 2-year-old wrapped around the leg of Yeshua since 2013. I have no intention of letting go. I am, seriously, I am like a small child just wrapped on his leg because I know he's my only hope. I know where I've been. I know where he's brought me from. So, yeah, thank God Jesus, friend of sinners. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share these experiences. This is very therapeutic for me. Joe, like I said, just let me know the response on the email and we will figure that out. Encourage anybody else. Yates, if you want me to go back and pull your comment from the first or even before we started this, let me know. If you want to write it up, I will read it as best I can. I won't have the beautiful British accent that you do, I know, but we'll do it in mountain speak. You all have a beautiful, blessed day and know that you're very loved.